Hey, I'm Michael from Project YM, and I want to tell you about a road trip that I took. Right out of college, a bunch of us crammed into this minivan. There were probably more people than there were seatbelts, but you know, college age budget. So we're crammed into this minivan and we're driving from Texas to Kentucky. And so we're alternating driving so we can just drive the whole way straight. One of my friends is in the back seat and he's got sleep apnea, and so he's got his mask on to help him breathe as he's sleeping. And in the middle of the night, we're driving along, he's passed out asleep. He jumps up and starts screaming the words, feet, feet, feet. And we realized that one of the people in the front seat where the sleep apnea machine was plugged in had taken off their shoes and were resting their feet on top of the air intake. And so it was directly sucking smelly foot air and pumping it into his mouth. Like, there is nothing, I think, more revolting than the feeling of having someone else's socks in your mouth. And it drastically changed his outlook on what was going on in that moment. He was restful, peaceful, having a great sleep. And then all of a sudden, because of the air around him, it drastically changed his perspective. See, I think for a lot of us, we don't take notice of the air around us, of the things around us, because they're not normally as extreme as smelly socks in your feet. But it reminds me of the story of Lot. See, in the Old Testament, we meet a man named Lot who Scripture says is an incredible man of God, and so God blesses him abundantly. But then Lot decides to move, and he decides to build a new home. And he does it next to one of the most evil cities in all of Scripture. He does it next to Sodom. And he tells his uncle Abraham, who is concerned about building his house so close to these sinful people, that, hey, I'm just gonna be near them. I'm not actually gonna be a part of them or affected by them. But what happens in the span of just 2 pages in Scripture? Lot goes from being an incredible man of God, who God is abundantly blessed, to, because he's surrounded by sin, he becomes in the midst of it. He becomes overcome by it. There's actually a story where men come to Lot banging on his door, asking for his daughter so that they can rape her, and he willingly gives her up. He is consumed by sin. And what happens is, for us, we start to look like Lot and start saying, hey, we're just gonna be near sin, we're just gonna be around sin, we're just gonna watch this movie or listen to this song or breathe in this air, but it's not really gonna affect us. But the truth is, it does. Maybe slow at first, maybe little by little, but the people we surround ourselves with, the sin that we allow to be rampant around us in life, affects who we are. It transforms us from men and women of God to men and women of sin. So my challenge to you is, find ways to separate yourself, not to try to get as close to sin as possible, but not crossing that line, but actually try to get as far away from it. Or even better, try to get as close to Christ as you can. Because where Christ is, sin can't live.